Hey, gang, we are back again with Gerald Celente, and he is here to talk about a number of concerns, including gold. Gerald, you've been talking a lot about that on your website. What are your concerns?
Well, you have to look at gold, why it's going up. I mean, I've been at this for 45 years.
Right.
And one of my books is called Trend Tracking. Far better than Megatrends Time Magazine, 1989. And I write how I became a trend forecaster. The Iranian conflict was going on in the late 1970s. And they taught us to hate Iran, just like they keep telling us to hate the Russians, hate the Iranians, whoever they want us to hate. And people had no idea of the United States overthrow of the democratically elected government of Mossadegh in 1953 in Iran.
Right, right.
And Mossadegh had the gall and the nerve to say, no, that oil does not belong to Anglo-Iranian oil, better known today as BP, or Standard Oil, better known today as ExxonMobil. It belongs to the Iranian people. No, it doesn't. I'm that little scumbag that everybody loves, Winston Churchill, a little clown of a jerk that couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag that loved war. Him and Kermit Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt's grandson, a great-grandson, and the only newspaper, by the way, to report this when the information came out in 2017 was the Financial Times, how the CIA and the MI6 overthrew the government to get the oil. Like I say, you think we would have invaded Iraq if their major export was broccoli? All this has to do with gold. I became a trend forecaster then when I became a political atheist and realized the lies going on. And I said, this Iranian conflict is going to keep going. They've had enough of the Savak, the secret police under the Shah that slaughtered hundreds of thousands of people, that made the SS look good. They're not going to stop this. And I said, the price of oil and gold is going to go up. And I started playing the futures markets. Put a $5,000 bet in each one and brought it almost to $750,000. I lost a lot of the dough. I was gambling it out, but that's when I quit my job and became a trend forecaster, going back to gold. Gold is the number one safe haven asset in the world. I bought my first buy of gold at about $183. I think it's 62 cents an ounce. As we're speaking, what is it, around $2,915 an ounce? Oh. $2,915 an ounce. Central banks are buying up gold. They know the problems out there. There is a recession going on. They just had an election in Germany. They put another clown in there. It's the third, or depending on whose numbers you look at, or fourth largest economy in the world. They're in a recession. The United Kingdom is, they call it stagflation. No, it's not. It's dragflation. Economy's going down. Inflation's going up. Forget about the trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars they pumped into the economy to fight the COVID war and brought interest rates in the United States down to zero, and other countries negative interest rates. All that's coming out to play now. That's why this gold is going up so high. One of your top trends for 2024 in your Trends Journal, that this 2024 would be a golden year for gold. Gold went up 27%. Already this year, gold has gone up over 12%. Already. Now let's go back to Fort Knox.
Yeah, let me pose this question now. They're trying, Trump and his crew is talking about going into Fort Knox for the first time, I guess, for real inspection to see if any of the gold is there. Now, my question, Gerald, is if there is no gold there, or a very decreased amount, does that crash the U.S. dollar? Since
yes.
The U.S. dollar is still pegged to gold, right?
Yep. Gone. But here's the deal.
So they shouldn't stick their noses into Fort Knox then.
Maybe the gold is in there, and that's why they're going in, because there's another side to the story. And I'm going to tell you this story. When I was a young guy, maybe 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, my father, may rest in peace, out of nowhere, he said to me, Back in 1933, I was dating your mother. They got married in 1934. May they rest in peace. I go into your grandfather, go over to visit her at your grandfather's house, and he's packing up all his gold. I said to him, Pop, what are you doing with that gold? He said, the president of the United States wants us to return the gold, and I'm an American citizen, and I'm giving the gold to President Roosevelt.
Yeah, but he confiscated the gold. You had to change the gold. Yeah, yeah.
They paid them, and it was $20.84 an ounce. He said, your grandfather started cursing at me when I said, don't give it back. Matter of fact, in my book, and you read this book, my favorite, with Cincy gave Honey Boy, a true story of love, freedom, and the soul of America. I talk about my grandfather, how proud he was to be an American from Italy. He was the first guy online to go vote. So he believed in all this stuff. After they got it in, they passed the Gold Reserve Act in 1934. A year later, they jacked up the price of gold to $35 an ounce.
No.
They screwed the people out of it, made it give it back at $20 and change, and drove it up 70%. Now let's go to Fort Knox. Let's suppose the gold is all there. We're raising the price of gold. We're going to pass a Gold Reserve Act. And gold prices are going to go to $5,000 an ounce, not $3,000. And now we just wiped out our debt level. They could use it as a scam to get rid of the debt. It's a wild card, but Trump plays those wild cards like nobody else.
If the gold isn't there, then what?
As I said, you're going to see the dollar crash. And gold prices will skyrocket. Gold prices are only where they are now because the dollar is still strong. Because gold is dollar-based, so it costs you more in other countries to buy gold if the dollar is strong. The dollar goes down, gold prices go up because more people are going to be able to afford to buy it.
So, but is that good or bad for the overall U.S. economy?
Oh, it's terrible for the U.S. economy.
So why would Trump be taking a chance unless he knows the gold is there?
They know what's there. They know what's there.
So this whole
they know they got the deal.
All right, so therefore they know it's there. They're going to go in and announce they found it, and therefore, what's the deal? What's the scam?
They increased the value of gold. Gold is worth much more than what they're saying it is. This is our price for gold. They did it before, they'll do it again. Again, Gold Reserve Act, you could look it up. They'll make up any crap they want.
So they could just increase it at their whim.
They did it before.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not making this up.
Right. I mean,
it's everything they do at their whim. Hey, how about quantitative easing? They didn't teach me that in graduate school or Economics 101. I'll make up any crap. Hey, I'm a little piece of crap, a little scumboy of nothing. I'm Ben Bernanke. A little clown of a jerk. Hey, I'm the Fed head. You know what I just made up in 2012? Inflation can't go above 2%. If it goes above 2%, we can't lower interest rates. Hey, craphead, you made up that 2% number. Hey, Celente, shut your damn mouth.
Yeah.
I'm a member of the gang. We do what we want. Who the hell are you, you little giddy from the Bronx? Shut your damn mouth. You got it?
Gerald, how did you get to be so cynical? I think I know the answer because you saw how things actually work, right?
I was the assistant to the Secretary of the New York State Senate.
Right, right.
I quit when nobody could believe I would. I'm a lucky man. I'm a Napolitano, born in the Bronx, born to be free. Don't tell me what to do. I won't tell you what to do. The little boys and girls in politics are the lowest pieces of scum you could shovel out of the earth.
And you've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, they suck up to get their way up.
No.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not. When I quit, my buddies couldn't believe it.
No.
Brian Donahue, my best friend, his wife, Mary Donahue, became the lieutenant governor of Kentucky.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to suck up. And then, you've been here. I got the picture of me when I picked up Ronald Reagan at Chicago Hilton,
Right.
put on a brunch for 16 of our board of directors. Been with the Prince of Norway, major. I've been on the other side. I know what it is. If I wasn't on the other side, I wouldn't know. They're low life pieces of scum.
All right. So a lot of people are hoping that Trump is going to fix it or make it at least somewhat better. What's your view?
Some yes and some no. I agree with tariffs. I agree with McKinley. And but we had tariffs, but we didn't have income tax.
Right.
So yeah, do the tariffs, but get rid of our income tax. It was that slime ball Woodrow Wilson that gave us World War I, the Federal Reserve, the federal income tax, and the IRS. Before that, we had tariffs.
And Gerald,
Yeah.
with today's globalization of the economy, will that still work? Tariffs would
Yes.
eliminate income tax in this 2025 year.
No, you can't do it right away.
I mean, from here on, it could actually work again.
Yes. Again, here, again, in trend forecasting, you make connections between different fields. We're going to talk about tariffs. Let's go back just about 3 years ago, February 24th, 2022. The Ukraine war happens. The little jerk that was president back then, Biden, and again, one jerk off after another. He says Putin's going to pay the price for putting sanctions on Russia. All those companies pulled out of Russia. We said, this isn't going to hurt Russia. They're going to be self-sustaining.
Right.
They have all the human and natural resources they need to do it. And look what happened. Yeah, the first year the economy went down, the economy went up, became more self-sustaining. You look at it, America could be a self-sustaining economy. Yeah, bring in that prosciutto from Italy, that fine French wine from France. But
Don't
how
tell.
about and you remember back in the day, I have dishes from my Aunt Zinzi from this book,
Yeah.
Syracuse, China,
Yeah.
made in Syracuse, New York.
Yeah.
You used to have the Gant first shirt factories over here in Kingston, made in America. Made in America.
Well,
Look,
Gerald, that's another question. Trump is talking about bringing jobs back through the tariffs back into the U.S. Can that really happen since, so much has gone out? It's so intricate now with globalization and all that. Can that actually bring jobs back en masse to the United States because of tariffs?
I believe it can. And again, I can't stand Trump on what he's doing with the Israel thing. Totally opposed to it. And I call it like it is. And again, I'm only going back to history. Here, just to make it clear, this is 1992. When you tell about how I feel about politics, this was a T-shirt that I had made up when that little boy of nothing, Bill Clinton, ran for office. Could you see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Beware Slick Willie. This is a scumbag that gave us NAFTA,
Yeah.
not ancient history. Reagan couldn't pull it off. Bush Sr. couldn't pull it off. Clinton changed the Democratic Party, he pulled it off. They sent all the jobs to Mexico for cheap labor. That's not ancient history.
Right.
He's the scumbag that brought China into the World Trade Organization.
Right.
All the European and New American manufacturers went over there that could to get the stuff made cheaply and gave China all the manufacturing and high tech that they never had before. Now look at China.
They were claiming it would be a win-win situation. Now, my question is, were they really that stupid or was it a total scam right from the beginning?
They get paid off. Morons and imbeciles call it campaign contributions. Look at the scumbag Clintons, are multimillionaires. A little jerk off from Arkansas.
Yeah.
A
And
little boy of nothing, they're multimillionaires.
his daughter Chelsea got $3 million for her wedding, plus a payoff on her mansion through USA, Aid USA.
They know it's a scam. They could care less about the people. Again, I was in the system. Yeah, I'm a young guy, 26 years old, hanging out in the back of the chamber, the Senate. They got a young guy. You're talking about chicks, cars, sports. Senator Frank Jones, a sergeant at arms, opening the door. I said, what's this fat slob opening the door for these guys? And they look at me. My buddies would follow the senator to his seat, pull out the chair and help him sit down.
Yeah.
They come back. I say, what's the matter, man? Cat can't sit down by himself. He needs some help. They said to me, you know, Gerald, you have that kind of an attitude. You're not going to make it here. I say, man, ain't my trip. I'm not going to make it here. All right. They're only interested in themselves, these politicians. It's a crime syndicate. You know, there's an article that just came out about Musk. Yeah, I love what he's doing with this Dodge, right? This just came out in the Washington Post. I didn't finish it. I just started reading it before we went on the air. I think I took it with me here. Yep, here it is. Elon Musk's business empire is built on $38 billion in government funding. Washington Post. The guy's been sucking off the public tit. And I want to make this clear to everybody listening. If you're not a billionaire, shut your damn mouth. You have no right to be with the president to talk about anything. All right? Look at his inauguration. All the clown freaks. The Zuckerbergs, the Bezos, the Peach Eyes, the Musks. Only the billionaires are allowed to be there. Shut your mouth and get the hell out of here. Hey, we're both paisanos. Remember there was this guy by the name of Mussolini? Oh, the merger of state and corporate powers is fascism. That's his quote.
Well, you know, Trump is considered a winner because he knows how to make a deal, which will benefit the entire country eventually. But you're saying a lot of that is shaky.
Bullshit. I'll tell you another Trump story. I had lunch with he didn't make it on his own. He's a daddy's boy. I had lunch with his brother, Robert, back in 2017. Robert passed away about 3 years ago. He had a restaurant over in Wassaic, which is across the river over here. And I was with him for about 3 hours. And he went on to tell me that in 2002, when the father died, I think it was around 2002, the father left over $500 million in real estate to the family. Right. Trump's a little spoiled daddy's boy. He didn't make it on his own. And he had a lot of crappy deals. Oh, and they forget the ones about Trump, how he used to screw the contractors out of their last payment. Yo, that Trump? Yeah.
I've heard that, yeah, from people in the, yeah.
Yeah. No, he's a spoiled. Again, we're the same age, me and Trump. I'll tell you. Again, I write about it in my Disney book. And you can get this, by the way, by going to Trends Journal.
Right.
You go to the about. Everything I've written is my favorite. Anyway.
Yeah, I recommend a great book. Yeah.
When I was a kid, yeah, again, I couldn't control us, you know. And they say to you, little bastard, I'm going to send you to military school. I'm not going to go to military school. I'm a young guy. I want my mother, a great Italian cook, you know. I'm going to get dressed up in drag, tell when to go to sleep, when to wake up, and eat crappy food and can't go out and play, go for girls and have a car. Trump was so narcissistic, they sent him to military school. And the military school is about 30 minutes south of where I am over here in Kingston, at a place called Cornwall, New York, in the middle of nowhere. Imagine being a teenager, being in the middle of nowhere, going to military school. That's how narcissistic they couldn't control Trump.
All right, so Gerald, I know you got to go. So wrapping it up now, considering everything that's happening with gold and everything you pointed out, a general prognostication of what's going to happen during the Trump years and after he leaves office. Will we be any better off, or is it still far too early to tell?
I've never seen so much happen so quick.
Right.
I've never been, again, I've been at this year, best-selling books. I showed you one of them, another one, Trends 2000, right in the magazine since 1991. By the way, you can get it by going to trendsjournal.com. Grand total of $2.56 a week, nothing. Never before have I put one of our top trends for the year as a wild card. There's going to be a lot of wild cards dealt. And you don't know what Trump is going to do. The good and the bad and the ugly. And another trend we're forecasting is a dot-com bust. Nobody's talking about, again, in trend forecasting, you look at the big picture. I told you about Russia being self-sufficient.
Right.
Same thing with China. They got 1.2 billion people, 4 billion. Yes, their economy is crap because of 3 years of zero COVID policy. Yes, but 30% of their GDP is real estate related, and real estate's way down the toilet. Yes, they have between 60 and 90 million empty buildings. But what happened? All of a sudden, DeepSeek, AI. You can make these chips, don't need the big ones. No, it doesn't cost us 100 million to do it. We did it for 6 million. Oh, you forgot that a month ago, Nvidia's stock went down 17% in one day?
No.
Lost $600 billion in one day? Okay, let's go back to China. Let's go back to the future, and let's go back to the dot-com bust. You look at, here it is, Trends Journal, when it used to be a quarterly. Fall 1999. Dot-com this. Dot-com overload will short-circuit many high expectations for huge profits in internet commerce, entertainment, and a wide array of dot-com services. Following the holiday season, many of today's high-flying internet stocks, the hottest IPOs, the newly emerging IPO wannabes, will have begun their deep descent from the overvalued heights, and we said the market would crash by the second quarter of 2000. It did in March 2000, and the NASDAQ lost 80% of its value. We are on the same path now. They've overinvested. Yes, AI is the future. Trends are born, they grow, they mature, reach old age, and die. It has just been born. And you're investing in the company where it's just been born. That's like investing in all your money in the 1886 first automobile that came out. Let's go back to China. And I said about Russia being self-sufficient. They have all of the human and natural resources they need to be self-sufficient. Put the facts together. Before slimeball Bill Clinton, who every time he got caught with his pants down, yeah, I didn't have sex with that woman, Monica Lewinsky. Yeah, she only gave me a blowjob. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, bombs away over Baghdad. That little clown that brought China into the World Trade Organization. Again, you look at China's GDP from 1970 to before they came into the World Trade Organization, it was like that. They come in, it goes straight up. Why does this have to do with AI? In 2000, 10% of Chinese 18-year-olds went to college. Now, almost 70%. What does that have to do with AI? Everything. Young people are tech addicted. This is their world. Now you got all these young people, tech addicted, going to college to become technicized. They are going to be the world leader in high tech. They're going to bring down all of these companies that they overinvested in, all these IPOs in AI. We see a dot-com bust 2.0 coming this year. Goes back to gold. Boop.
Wow. Quite a prediction.
This is the wildest ride in human history, in modern history we're on. Look at all the things Trump's done as we're talking. When is he in office? 25 days? 25 days every day.
Yeah.
And again, I'm tired of this billionaire shit. I'm tired of it. Don't want to hear it anymore.
Well, okay, Gerald, thanks again. And
Thank you.
We'll be talking, and we'll see how things turn out. A lot of them have high hopes for Trump. Others are more skeptical. It's a real mix, but we'll see. Gerald Celente.
Again, that's what I said. There's the ups and the downs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, if he ends the war in Ukraine, bravo. I believe if he was president when that broke out, it wouldn't be where it is. He wouldn't have sent, a couple of $100 billion to Ukraine.
Yeah.
I don't believe he would have done that. But what he's done to Israel, I'm totally disgusted with.
Yeah. Yeah, Ukraine, he doesn't elaborate why it wouldn't have happened, but the whole thing, my take on it is there were two reasons. Ukraine threatening to join NATO, which brings more right on Russia's border, more of a threat, and also them attacking Donbass, which is the Russian ethnic region. So those two elements are what brought Putin into the war, and they were ignoring the Minsk agreement. So Putin, as I see it, had a little choice. But you don't see that, you don't hear that in the mainstream media.
But you do in the Trends Journal 2014 article.
Right, right.
Right here. This is written by Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, former Assistant Treasury Secretary under Ronald Reagan, who's been on your show. Ukraine presented the perfect opportunity for Washington to advance its hegemonic agenda. In a speech at the National Press Club last December, which was 2013, Victoria Nuland boasted that Washington had invested $5 billion in NGOs in Ukraine for the purpose to teach democracy. It's all about the overthrow of the democratically elected government of Viktor Yanukovych in Ukraine by the United States. So
Right.
we know those facts.
Yeah.
As you do, yeah.
Yeah.
But people have no idea about it.
Yeah, because mainstream media never even mentions those elements that we just talked about. It's always, Putin's a bad guy. He instigated it. He's, the amount, as we've known for years, the media, they're cheerleaders and propagandists. There's no straight reporting anymore, no objective reporting. It's not even desired. It's not even taught, from what I understand, in journalism schools anymore. You could slant the facts in order to achieve social justice. Objectivity is no longer something to be desired.
I
Incredible.
call them prostitutes.
Yeah.
Media whores that get paid to put out by the corporate pimps and government whore masters. And if you need more proof, this is from Tuesday's Wall Street Journal. You see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
MSNBC revamp elevates Psaki. MSNBC is overhauling much of its lineup, blah, 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 elevating former Biden White House press secretary Jen Psaki in an effort to refresh its programming. Wait a minute. You bring in a clown mouthpiece from the White House?
Yeah.
And you're calling it journalism? How about shove it up your butt?
Yeah.
How about Psaki? How about Psaki's shit?
And now,
what, are you kidding me?
And now it's coming out that under the Biden administration, they were paying news outlets to give favorable coverage. And they've been doing that for years, but now it's coming up. Yeah.
Oh, they got that guy Stephanopoulos, the little clown jerk that used to be with Clinton.
Yeah.
There's no media. And again, that's why I subscribe to the Trends Journal. We're giving people anything if they're not getting anywhere else in the world.
Right.
Nothing.
Right. All right, Gerald, I know you're a busy guy. You got to go.
Yep, thank you so much.
Thanks for being
Thank
with
you
us.
for all you do.
Thank you. Thank you for all you've done all these years at great personal sacrifice and expense. We've just discussed that before, but I don't think people realize how much you paid in order to stay independent. So, thanks again. Thank you.